We're live.
Live and correct. Right
So.
here.
Let me fix the brightness so I can see what's happening.
Come on, woman.
Oh, I can
What
see
you doing
you.
over there?
I'm looking at
I'm
you.
waiting for the woman to... Look, now this...
Okay. Hi.
Like, now we got this big empty space.
Well, I can fix Freddie later.
That's fine.
Hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Thank you for watching us right now on Facebook and YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram and on Twitter. That's all I got. Do you want me to move Freddie? He's not.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
He's in a weird spot. For the YouTubers. For the Facebookers, you just see Freddie.
Yeah, you're ahead. I wasn't ready.
Hey. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I don't know. I got this new camera. I don't know if the camera looks any, but I guess maybe it looks good, right?
I don't know. Is your face the same?
Nice. Hey, my face is beautiful.
Did it change the way your face looks?
My face looks good.
If it change the way your face looks, and it's a good thing.
Wow, it looks good. Hopefully, we look good on this camera because it's a new camera.
All right.
All right.
So today's gonna be a little bit different because we didn't watch a whole lot together.
We didn't. We ended up watching things. We
almost
watched a bunch of stuff.
We almost didn't watch Jack. Like I watched a whole review for the site. Had a chance. We had a plan.
Kind of.
That we discussed. Like we were going to go see something Friday. We were tired. We had some stuff going on all day yesterday, so we had no time. And I threw a plan out.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, hold on. She's like, hey, that's a good idea. And then she was like, eh. And then I was kind of like, eh. And then we never discussed it again. And then before we went to bed last night, she never said she was going to do that plan. And I had planned on asking her, are we going to do this? Because this involved me having to get up in the morning to go to a movie. And then she was going to go to the movie in the afternoon. And I didn't sleep well. And I've still been fighting the same crap last week's allergies, whatever. So I get up this morning. I start working on the website. I was watching The Shining. Doing all kinds of stuff. And then I get a text from her. Are you at the movie? Like, no. Why?
I just assumed you were going to do the plan because that was the plan we talked about.
That's not how our relationship normally works.
Well,
usually had I gone to the movie, she'd be like, oh, I wasn't going to do that. And then I would get yelled at because those movies she wanted to see more than I would have. And then it would have been a problem. So anyway, she was like, well, I was going to go to the movie. I'm like, oh, crap. That's why. I forgot. I said, well, you go ahead and go. So she did end up going to her movie.
Excuse me.
Well, just move some crap out of it. You don't need to move over.
Okay, lie down.
Vader.
All right. There you go.
Anyway, so all that to say, she went to the movie and saw one movie. We watched one thing together, and then I have a few things by herself. So this can be kind of a weird, all over the place show.
That's okay. That's all of our
shows. As if any
of
our show is normal.
All shows are all over the place. Thank you for watching. It's always an exciting time.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Start with one of yours, and then we'll go to one of ours.
Okay. Well, I have
you got a lot.
I got a plethora of things. So let's talk about this. This is one that I've been really looking forward to. It's called Method in the Madness. It is written and directed by Jason Mewes of Jay and Silent Bob fame.
Yep.
It also stars, this is going to be a shocking turn of events, Kevin Smith.
What? He's in the movie
Kevin Smith. And this is still big Kevin Smith before he lost all the weight.
No.
It's got Vinnie Jones and Gina Carano, Brian O'Halloran, who is Dante from Clerks. I went blank for a minute there. Stan Lee and probably his final film role. See if there's anybody else. Dean Cain's in here. Casper Van Dien, Judd Nelson. I don't even remember seeing Judd Nelson. I don't think I saw Judd Nelson in here.
He's probably gray-haired by now.
Oh, Terry Hatcher, Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo has the funniest scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so back up. Everybody plays themselves in here for the most part.
Okay.
Terry Hatcher doesn't play Terry Hatcher. She's like Jay's agent. And Gina Carano's not Gina Carano. She's playing Jay's girlfriend. Okay. Most everybody else plays themselves, or a variation of themselves. And the whole idea is Jason Mewes goes on an audition. They kind of treat him like, we weren't really looking for you for the lead. They wanted you to be the funny friend, say snoochie boochies. Then he's tired of being typecast as Jay, right? And so he wants to get out there. He wants to be a leading man. And so Kevin Smith tells him about this book that somebody wrote, that it's like this actor's book, and it'll make you a star or whatever. So he goes and gets the book, and he's supposed to follow it like slowly through chapters, and he reads the whole book at once. So then everything spirals out of control and it goes crazy. So like Vinnie Jones is a friend of his. So then there's like some murders and there's drug use and there's all kinds of zaniness. Then people show up, like Dean Cain shows up, but he's disguised and he's like, "Did you read the book? Oh my god!" And he's like, he's afraid to like he's so famous that fans are gonna swarm him. And there's a really funny sequence involving Dean Cain because he says the reason he hides is not because he's so much famous, it's because everybody thinks he's really Superman. And so the kids like start throwing stuff at him and want him to fly, and he goes, "I can't do any of these things," you know. So, but Gina Carano's funny; she plays his girlfriend, and but anyway, there's a lot of twists and turns. There's fights between Kevin Smith and Jay, and it's actually a really good movie. It's really funny. It feels like it could fit in the View Askew universe, which was all the old school Kevin Smith stuff, but it doesn't feel like Kevin Smith did the work. It feels like Jay's vision.
That's cool.
And obviously he's played himself, but it's got some great twists and turns. It's got some stuff that, you know, where some people in it play like crappy versions of themselves, you know, where like somebody's more of an asshole than they might really be. Stan Lee's funny in it. Rest in peace. But it's one of those movies. It's just a fun little movie. If you're a fan of any of the stuff with Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob, this is one of those movies you should watch. You'd have fun with it. Brian O'Halloran, who plays Dante, he's funny because he's fixing to, he's apparently become so big, he's fixing to direct, I think it's Othello or something like this. And so he's walking around like, you know, his voicemail, you call him, he goes, "I'm not even supposed to be here today." You know, so it's like a play on there, but he's become so famous and everybody's like, "What?" So anyway, it's a funny little movie. It's available now on Blu-ray. I mean, DVD. I don't think they did a Blu-ray of it. But definitely check it out. It's called Madness in the Method. I think it's not only on DVD. I think you can get it on demand and maybe on Amazon or digital or something like that.
Okay. You okay?
Dear Lord, this did.
Okay, great. So let's talk about what I watched now.
Okay.
We watched a movie together.
Are you going to talk about that one?
Yeah, let's talk about that one. I was excited to see this one, actually.
I'm glad you were.
Did you not?
I'm not. I don't care anything.
Oh, you're not a fan of this. I'm a fan.
So basically, this in 1998, they
they
made a movie. I believe it was 98. I think I wrote it in my review. There's a movie called Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island or something to that extent. So now we jump to 2019 and we have the sequel, Scooby-Doo
Return to Zombie Island.
And I am not a big Scooby-Doo fan.
I like Scooby-Doo. It's good. That's good stuff right there.
The only Scooby-Doo stuff I even cared about when I was a kid was like the stuff with the movie character, the actors. The movies, the Scooby-Doo movies.
Like when Sonny and Cher was on?
Yeah, but I only, because I wanted to see like Batman on there, and I wanted to see Three Stooges or Laurel and Hardy or whoever, Don Knotts. Those were always my favorite ones. But beyond that, I've never given two craps about Scooby-Doo.
I like Scooby-Doo, so you don't know what you're missing.
Well, here's the thing: is I don't hate it. Couldn't really tell you what it is about it that I'm just not a fan of, because like I enjoyed the movie. It was fine.
Yeah, it's good.
I gave it a good review, and I've watched every single thing they put out. Usually because they send it to me, I wouldn't go out to get it, but I always find them entertaining. The animation's fine. I don't like that it's the same thing every time.
Well, this one was different because they were trying to not solve a mystery.
Yeah. Well, and I think I wrote in my review on our website
at HollywoodMatrimony.com
about the fact that they tried to do some new things in relation to the history of the characters and where they're at and what they're doing to try to make it so it made it feel a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more than I might have otherwise, because I know part of the shtick of Scooby-Doo is every episode is the same thing. They catch him. It was old man Carruthers trying to save his farm or whatever, and so I would have gotten away with it without those kids. And it just, I guess to me, it's always been I always know what's going to happen. And even though this one's kind of the same way still, it still was kind of felt a little different.
Yeah, it was a little bit different, which I liked. I like it. I like now that the animation is so much clearer than the old TV show. It actually you can actually tell like there's layers of the animation instead of just a flat cartoon. I
think I'm annoyed. I've always been annoyed with Fred's ascot.
Why? They made fun of it in that other one.
I know. And I think it's like
he knows he's like nerd.
I've always entertained when they point out the fact that they haven't updated their clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably be one of the first people that if they change their clothing, I'd be like, why are you ruining the characters? That's that's iconic. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword.
We can't win with you.
No, on this kind of thing you can't, because I'm a firm believer in you don't just change characters to change them. But I'm also like, sometimes they're dated and they need to be updated. But
I know, but he knows, and that was in one of the other movies where they were making fun of his ascot, and he's like, whatever, this is me. So I don't know. I liked it. I feel like it was good. We had the zombies and whatever, but it was clever.
There was werewolves or werecats
or whatever, but it was clever because it was like a story within a story with another story, and I thought it was clever. I enjoyed it. If you like Scooby-Doo, you'll probably like it. If your kids like Scooby-Doo, they'll like it.
Yeah, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, it's great. I mean, like I said, I'm not a Scooby-Doo fan. I still have fun.
And that they're returning to a previous movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, did you see the movie? I'm like, they'll tell us about it. And
yeah,
so
well, yeah.
I mean, and I do remember seeing
I don't even remember if I saw it.
I think I did.
I probably did, but
I like all the Scooby-Doos.
What I do like is I love that Matthew Lillard has made an entire career after being Shaggy, after being Shaggy in the live action movies. Shifted in there. I think he's been Shaggy in everything that's been made since then.
He's a smart man.
And the girl that does Daphne, Velma, I forgot her name now, but she's that little cute nerdy girl. You just saw Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I love that girl. Anyway, she's in a lot of stuff, but anyway, it
was good. Check it out. It's available now, obviously.
It'll be available on Tuesday. Everything else we watch is October 1st.
Sorry,
this one not only has the movie with it. It also has some random episodes from like the Scooby-Doo mysteries, What's New Scooby-Doo episodes. There've been a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff getting released lately. They just put out, or a few months back, they put out the Scooby-Doo movies almost complete collection, which was, I think there's like 2 or 3 episodes they can't get the rights to official release, put on thing, something like that. And then they just released it. We didn't get that I thought I was going to get was the complete Scooby-Doo movies, episodes, or stories, or whatever it is. One of the series, it was like the whole run of like the first or the second series, and it came in like a mansion or some crap.
That's cool.
I think that's already out. If not, maybe it'll show up. So anyway, so there's a lot of Scooby-Doo hitting the home video collection.
The one I didn't like was when Scrappy was there. Didn't like Scrappy-Doo.
I love that character. I still didn't like the show anymore.
Annoying.
That was during the time period where everybody started getting siblings. Because it was like Droopy and Son and
Captain Caveman and Son.
I think what's happening over there? He's leaving because he's annoyed.
Oh Lord.
Then it was like, what is it? I don't know if it was the same time. Remember, wasn't that when Boo Boo came around too? Or was he already around?
He's always been around.
Boo Boo's always been there, wasn't he? But yeah, and so anyway, everybody started getting kids. They started getting older, getting offspring.
Whatever. That was his nephew. So
Scrappy. Oh,
Scrappy-Doo. And Scrappy-Doo.
So they say.
Well, I didn't like Scrappy-Doo, so everything else I like.
Anyway, all right. Well, Scooby-Doo: Return to Zombie Island will hit theaters. It will hit stores October 1st, this Tuesday.
That's Tuesday already.
Check it out if you're a fan.
All right.
So moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
All right, so I have another one.
Yeah.
This one.
I lost my shoe.
This one may already be out. I think this came out this past week. This next one was one I knew nothing about when I got it. It was probably one I wouldn't have normally looked at, not because I didn't find any interest in it, but it was just like, whatever. Because it's in the horror genre, thriller genre, and there's so many of those that come out. Yeah. There's so many of those that come out. I've gotten where I don't watch as many anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies.
And sadly, there's more often than crap than not. But this one also came with an interview, so I went ahead and watched it.
Cool.
It's called The Black String, starring Frankie Muniz, that most of you might know from Malcolm in the Middle. My kids are more a fan of his Agent Cody Banks stuff.
I'm going to post a link to the interview and to this.
Yeah, and I got to interview Mr. Muniz. It's also got Oded Fair in it.
Ooh, I love him.
Barely in it.
Oh.
So that's why I didn't push you to watch it after that, because he's barely in the movie.
I love him. I'll watch anything with him in it.
So anyway, so basically the premise of the movie here, I'll just read you the premise.
Okay.
How about that? It'd be easier.
Make it exciting.
After Jonathan, Frankie Muniz, hooks up with sexy Dina through a swingers hotline, he becomes incredibly ill. Suffering from blackouts and hallucinations, Jonathan begins to fall apart. That's what always happens when you hook up with a lady. He becomes convinced that he's the helpless victim of an evil cult that's cursed him with a deadly mystical forces beyond his control.
Okay.
But is this supernatural threat real, or all in Jonathan's troubled mind? This riveting horror thriller will leave you shaken long after it's done.
Were you shaken?
I was not. So anyway, so it's a pretty accurate description. He hooks up with his chick, and then he starts getting sick. But what they don't kind of tell you is the character already has some mental issues, not issues, but some past, whether it's drugs or something.
Yeah.
So he's kind of struggling in life anyway. It's a completely different new kind of character from Rick Jimenez.
Yeah.
Most people know him, and I talked to him about
like a
him.
nice kid.
Well, most people know him as the family stuff and the kids and the comedy. Yeah. And that's one of the things we get to talk about is how he gets typecast.
Yes, which has got to be hard.
He said that he was very open. He's like, yeah, most people know me as Malcolm, and he goes, but that's what he loved about doing this movie. He felt like being something different. I also know he went through. I didn't talk about it in the interview, but he went through some health problems, some pretty bad stuff. I think he was losing memory. Couldn't remember things anymore.
I'm remembering this. This was a few years ago. Yeah.
And I didn't ask him about it at the time because I want to bring that up, especially if he's doing fine, rather promote his movie.
Yeah.
But he did say with doing this, because I asked him, because this character goes through this insane journey of already struggling with some stuff, but now he's struggling with something new, but nobody in the movie believes him. And so he's having to deal with that. Is he going crazy? Is this really happening? Is it in his head? Is it, is it something, some kind of demon? Is it an alien? Is it a creature? What's happening? He told me that when he was trying to figure it out, it was his fiance was kind of help him stay grounded in a manner of how far to go with it and how not, and how to push it and this and that, and kind of see where he's going to be at. And he said it was kind of her that helped push him along in the story as he built this character.
That's cool. Yeah.
But it's actually a pretty good little movie. I enjoyed it.
Good.
It wasn't that I didn't expect to enjoy it. I was just like, it didn't seem appealing at first thought.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was just going to be another one of those, somebody's got some kind of a disease and they go crazy, or somebody's going to be, some cult is after them or something. And while some of those elements may or may not be there on that level, there was some interesting stuff there, because it even ends in one of those ways of you don't really know, did some of this stuff happen? Was it in his mind the whole time? Was he crazy? There's another element of, you see somebody at the beginning of the movie, and then you see him later in the movie, and they're kind of similar. So then it makes you wonder, was this other character going through the same thing? Or was it more of just a metaphor of what's to come kind of thing? So, and it has some pretty graphic, gory parts in the second half.
That makes me happy.
That I totally didn't expect. It was a cool kind. It wasn't like somebody attacked and there's blood everywhere. This one was a cool twist that takes it to the end of the movie. So it was a good little movie. He was a great interview, super nice guy. We didn't talk about anything Malcolm or Agent Cody Banks. So if you go to read the interview, don't be all like, we talked about this. And everybody, and I bring that up because everybody always asks me when I do interviews, why didn't you ask him about this? Why didn't you ask him about that?
You're not allowed to.
Well, yeah, they give you parameters sometimes. Like when I interviewed Mark Hamill years ago for Sushi Girl, the first thing they said, you cannot ask anything about Star Wars. And this was before The Force Awakens, and I don't even think they had announced it yet. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't, you can't ask him, sorry, he's here to promote this. Because they know everybody will bogart all Star Wars or Joker.
And they're trying to promote a new movie.
Yeah, and this one didn't give me any parameters, but it does give me only a certain time limit. So that's the other thing, is a lot of times I'm given a window, you have 10 minutes to interview them. And while you're talking to them, they will cut in the middle of a conversation, say, you have 1 minute.
Yep.
Sorry, no more questions, thanks. That happened to my Bill Moseley interview for Through From Hell, that he finished his sentence, and I had one more question I was going to ask. It wasn't that important of a question, but I kind of time them out because I watch the clock so I can not feel rushed. And I'm sorry, they didn't even give me the 1 minute mark. They come in and said, we're sorry, we're out of time.
Aww.
So then I had to just go, okay, thank you for calling, I appreciate you. And that was kind of the end of it. So that's why some of the interviews looked abrupt and cut off.
Sometimes it is.
And they are.
You don't get a choice.
But The Black String was a good little thriller if you like those things. And he mentioned in an interview, and I agree, he said that he felt that once you start watching this movie, you're not going to really see Malcolm as much. You'll see the character Jonathan.
Good.
And after a few minutes, I did. I didn't care think about Malcolm or Cody Banks. I enjoyed watching him. He's good in it. So hopefully he'll do some more drama stuff. So Black String is available now on DVD. I don't know if they did a Blu-ray or not, but through Lionsgate.
nice. All right.
Why don't you talk about your movie?
So I'm so excited to tell you about this movie.
I'm so excited.
Today I went to the theater and I watched Abominable. It's the new movie from DreamWorks, I believe. And I'm reading over here. It was #1 at the box office this weekend. So I'm so excited. Good for them. So it's a little animated
But
feature.
in reality, is it really a big deal? It's the only thing that really came out.
Hey, Downton Abbey is holding on strong, you guys. Yeah, it's #2. So Abominable, as you see in the preview, it's about a girl who finds a Yeti living on her rooftop. And they embark on an adventure basically to take him home. So the interesting thing about the movie,
very straightforward.
There's a lot more to it.
Right.
So you see her and the other two guys. There's a story about them and what's going on. There's a really deep story about her and her life and what's going on with her life. And you see her playing violin, and that has a real deeper meaning towards for the entire movie. I really enjoyed this movie, you guys. I loved it. This is going to go in my top 10.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
It is good. I cried my eyes out. Like 3 times I was crying. But I was also laughing, and I think I really connected personally with the whole violin thing. Because I'm totally into it. It makes me want to play. Well, I'm going to be, because Christmas is coming. So I'm going to start playing again.
Oh, my life.
So, and just the story of home and what does home mean and the journey and what they learn from each other, all the characters. And the animation is beautiful. It is like there's so much depth and layers to it. And I saw it in Dolby. So there's a lot of rumbles and lights and sounds, and it was great. And I really, really liked it. And you should all go see it. Take some tissues.
I didn't get to see it, obviously, but I mean, visually the animation looked good. I like the new design of the Yeti look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it looked anywhere close to being that great of a movie, but I guess we'll find out.
No, it's good, babe. It's gonna get you in the feels.
You think it'll get me?
I think it'll get you. Okay, maybe it got me, but I mean, there's a whole big thing. I can't even tell you.
You don't get technical. You're a whole big thing.
But there's a lot to this story, and it's a great story, and I think everybody needs to go watch it and take your kids. And yeah, see, he saw it. The movie was awesome. Whoop! There it is. That's the thing from the movie. So you got to go see it.
That's also a song.
I know, but it's from the movie.
Okay, that's still a
Anyways,
song.
It's beautiful. There's magic and adventure.
What's wrong with my hair? I have a pompadour.
You have fluffy hair.
I do. I got
Anyways, guys, go see it. I thought it was really cute and it was fun. I can't tell you anything else because I don't want to ruin it. I'll tell you all about it. Are you going to go watch it?
No, I'm sure I will at some point.
Okay. I'll still tell you about it. It was good. It got me in the feelings. And if you watch it, stay to the very, very, very end, because throughout the credits, they're showing like little pictures of where all the characters are at the end of the movie and what's happening. So you got to stay to the very end. And even at the very end, they got me again, and I started crying again at the very end. Man, it's emotional.
Wow. That's a lot for that movie.
I loved it. I don't know what's going to get knocked off my top 10 to make room for this, but
I don't know. Well, let's talk about a movie not on my top 10 list.
Okay.
So, back
in turnaround
in the 2000s, I think. I don't remember the exact date now. They made a movie called Doom, which was based on the video game property, starring Carl Urban and Dwayne Johnson before he was the Dwayne Johnson we have today. Mm-hmm. He was in the process of making it, because I think he'd already done The Rundown. I think he had done Walking Tall. He'd done The Scorpion King. So he was on his way to become the big superstar.
To transition from The Rock to
Dwayne. I think back then he was still The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He might have already become Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and now he's just Dwayne Johnson. But he owns the rights, the name of The Rock.
Does he?
Yeah.
Good for him. That is a smart move.
He went in. There was they replayed an interview recently on Howard Stern that was with him, and it was back when he was promoting something, but it was back when he had, I guess, had transitioned. He was still using the Rock name, and they asked him, and he's like, no, I own all the rights to the Rock.
Good.
The name and everything. And he's like, how'd you do that? And he goes, I walked into Vince and I told him I want my name and I'm going to take it. And
good.
He gave it to him. And he goes, that's because it was good business. But so anyway,
because he's still active a little bit in
he goes back and forth. At the time, he was going to be retired, and I think now he goes back and forth a little bit here and there.
So it benefits him.
So I think it was like 2005 or something like that, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
They made the movie Doom. I actually liked that movie, but it didn't spawn the franchise I think they were hoping for. So now we jump ahead, 2019. They're taking another stab at it with Doom Annihilation. It is not connected to that other Doom movie anyway. It's basically a reboot, if you will, of trying to build a correction. It is a straight-to-home entertainment movie. So I decided, I had to see it because it's Doom. I like the game. I like the other movie. I figured I wasn't sure if this was a soft reboot or if it was a sequel or taking place in the same world or what they were really doing. I hoped it was going to kind of maybe talk about the other people.
I spelled Annihilation right on the first try. You go, girl. Sorry. I get excited by little things. Sorry. Continue.
You're a fool. I was hoping it'd be loosely connected to the old one, maybe mention them, then it's in a bigger world or something, but it wasn't.
Is it just a brand new movie?
Yeah, it's a whole movie. You don't even need to see even though the other one exists. It doesn't matter. When it comes to like the creatures and the alien, whatever you want to call them, monsters there, they look really great. There are some great action sequences in here. There's some cool stuff, some of the weapons. They seem to try to be sticking closer to some of the game on some of the stuff with some of the weaponry and the looks and the vibe. But the movie itself is just kind of blah.
Oh, that's too bad.
And I think it wasn't. It felt like a straight-to-video movie, which to me is a bad thing. But it also felt kind of like a Sci-Fi Channel movie. Not that cheap, and not all Sci-Fi Channel movies are cheap. But
no, but some of them.
It just felt like it felt rushed, and I think part of the problem was not the budget because they put together a cool-looking movie.
Yeah.
And like I said, some great action and stuff like this.
The gun looks good.
Yeah, there's some great action. There's some cool-looking stuff, but there's no. You don't care about any of the characters. There's no the characters just are not memorable. They tried to do the whole thing where they had a whole team with each one of them has their own personality, and you have this guy who's kind of the rough and regular, this is the big dude, this one, but they have inner turmoil between each other because this girl did something on a previous mission or some crap. It was all cliched stuff you've done hundreds of thousands of times that amounted to nothing because at one point there's this major battle thing that's happening, and it's cool to watch, but it's like they're killing all the characters off right away before you even give a crap of who they are. So I'm like, I don't understand what the point of this movie is. So it was one of the few times that I kind of was dozing in and out when I was trying to watch it, and I didn't bother to rewind it. So I finished it. It was okay. If you're a fan of the Doom franchise, like the game, I think there was a Doom Annihilation game or something in that realm. I don't know. I think this one might be based on one of them later ones. There is a Wolfenstein reference in it, which was kind of cool. But if you're a fan of the franchise, give it a try. If you like these kind of movies, you can try it out. I just was let down. I just didn't think it was overly great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It was more unmemorable than anything else.
That's too bad.
So that's just me.
I hate when that happens.
I know.
Oh, well. Next.
I think that's it.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. 5 movies.
Kind of short. I can't tell you about this though.
Okay.
This is in relation to stuff that's coming out this week. I'll bring this up just because it's kind of cool what they did. Hold on. Okay. So a few years ago, over the last few years, they've released these movies. So they released this one, which was Superman Doomsday. This is the DVD. I don't remember if this got put Blu-ray. Look, it's got the cover. Look at the cover.
Is it that? No,
I'm showing you what it does. Like,
no, but it's not that material, is it?
Oh, you bust through it. I mean this?
Oh.
So it's not like that. It's underneath. It's a bloody symbol.
Yeah,
you do this,
cool.
He crashes through it.
Yeah, I got it.
So anyway, so this was
I understand. Oh gosh, I understand how that works. Stop it.
This was the first Superman Doomsday, based on the death of Superman story arc.
Yes.
But this was done with like the Adventures of Superman movie or the Superman animated series style, the Batman style and all that stuff. So they changed the story up a little bit, but it was still a fun little version of it. What are you doing over there?
Nothing. I went to the wrong page.
So anyway, so you had this one first. What year was this? Tell me year.
I can't see that small.
Year, tell me. We're not moving on until I find out the year of this. 25 years later. Let's just stare at this by ourselves.
I can't see, so.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, this was made first,
right?
What's
this called?
So then years later, it doesn't matter. Stop looking at it. This is your deterrent.
Oh my gosh, how does it not hurt? 2007. Oh my gosh. It was 2007. Stop Stop.
It's like a cat purring.
It's horrible. Ooh. No, it gives me the heebies. Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry. Don't throw that away. Okay.
I'm not going to throw it away. You know what I normally do with those things?
Don't tell me you ripped the fronts of them off.
No. You know what I've done in the past?
Oh,
I get clear packing tape and put packing tape over the top of it so that you can't touch the thing.
You're dumb.
Because somebody bought me a binder one time that was the same thing, and I put clear packing tape all over it.
In fact, it needs to be up here. I need it for holding up.
No, I'll hold it.
You'll mess it up.
Ooh, I touched it on accident. Oh my God!
You get taken away from me. Okay, so now you'll know her. Now you'll know her weakness. All right, so jumping a few years later, they actually, since they started doing the DC animated films, they started putting out some really like awesome PG-13 movies in the DC universe with Justice League and Batman, and started doing some of the big properties like Hush and The Killing Joke and The Dark Knight Returns and things like this. So they made the actual Death of Superman movie, animated film. This one sticks way closer, even it's a little changed, but still way closer to the original source material. But the ending of this movie was kind of the way the comic was, where it was the end of the story arc, but leaves it open to where the next story arc that picked up that kind of continued the story. But this one was more of a kind of an end, one story and done. This one ended kind of at a cliffhanger, which led into this one, which is the Reign of the Supermen, which basically what happens is after Superman dies in the comic series, then they launched, in the comics they killed him off, then they launched 4 new titles, which was Superman, Cyborg Superman, the Eradicator, and Steel. And you didn't know who was the real Superman.
Yep. And
so throughout the storyline, you started meeting them all. You find out, I don't know, is it really a spoiler since it's been out so long? Anyway, you start learning who all these characters are. Everybody knows who Steel is now.
Yeah.
You know Superboy is. It was a different character. Cyborg Superman and the Eradicator, you get stories of them. So this basically picks up where this other one left off and tells another story leading into the return of Superman and the story and all the stuff they did. So I tell you all of this that seems like, why the hell are we talking about these old films?
Well,
why do you ask?
Guess what?
Well, the reason we ask is because good old Warner Brothers in DC has now, coming up this week on October 1st, is releasing one complete movie called The Death and Return of Superman. Now, this is these 2 movies put together as one complete film. All right, so it's not 2 movies on here; it's 2 complete film. One complete film now. What are you doing?
I'm looking at see.
Oh, that's the comic. One of the comic.
Oh.
So now they've seamlessly attached them together as one long movie, and you get the stories of you get stuff. But what they also did is this is the 4K release. I believe this is only coming out on the 4K, if I'm not mistaken. But included with this is also the 4K of the other Superman Doomsday movie.
Oh, cool.
So essentially you're getting 2 movies, but technically 3 movies.
3 altogether.
Because, this one is now like, 166 minutes long for this one movie. But that's not all.
What else is there?
If you order right now, in addition to the film, which has not only it has an all-new documentary. It's cool. Got a new featurette about it. It's got new bonus cartoons. All these things, they always pull cartoons from the DC vault. Yeah. But it also comes with a Steel figure.
What?
See? Steel. It's got a cape on. Everything. That's Steel.
Cool.
That's who Shaq played in the movie Steel. If you've never seen that, don't watch it.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you get this comes out this week. If you want to see a different version to see the whole thing all the way through, I'm going to sit down and rewatch it all the way through again because these 2 are really great, and this is going to be even cooler. I think they released it. I think they did the same thing with The Dark Knight Returns. They released The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2, and then I think they put out the full thing. I don't remember for a fact. I have the 2 separate ones. But anyway, if you buy this one, it comes like a little box set, and it's got Steel in the box like this.
Cool.
He might be on this side. I don't know. Either way. And this is, if you may not think that's a mighty fine action figure you have there. Well, a lot of the DC movies have been putting these out. So it's like a whole series of these. There's like a Harley Quinn. There's a Nightwing. I think there's a Batman and a Superman. And my son actually collects these stupid things. So every time I get them, he takes it. He's in his 20s. It's not like I'm giving it to a child. He takes it, and then he found out she had the Harley Quinn in her office. He goes, I need that for my collection. So
you have to pay for it, buddy.
That's right. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. So you're taking all these 3 out of your collection. Let's make sure they're not upside down. Put them in the right direction. You're taking these lovely 3 films here on Blu-ray and DVDs and 4Ks, and you're slapping them in this one 4K beautiful edition that has all of them like this. And now it's just one. Ignore that one's longer. I can't help that. All right. So that's what's happening right there. You got the lovely, that'll be out this week on October 1st.
There's lots of stuff coming out.
Did we talk about contests first? Or?
Well, no. Now that you're on this, tell me about what's
coming out. Nothing, sister.
And then we'll come back to it.
I will come back to it. I'll come back to it like everybody says. This week, they're also releasing, Warner Brothers is doing a lot of 4K releases this week. You have this Death and Return of Superman. They're putting out Pan's Labyrinth on 4K. Pan's Labyrinth is hitting 4K for the first time.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth is hitting 4K for the first time, which is this nice, cool cover here.
Cool. Is it also holographic?
No, it's not. It's plain.
Okay, good. Whew.
I know, right?
Goodness.
It's very disappointing.
What else?
Then we also have another Warner Brothers 4K. It's the 35th anniversary of Gremlins.
Gizmo.
So, and it has a whole bunch that says they're cute, they're cuddly, and they're coming to get you. So I'm hoping that means Gremlins 2 will be coming to 4K as well. So I have the set.
Oh, there you go.
It's got all kinds of new. It says over 10 minutes of footage not seen in theaters.
About the smokeless ashtray, I hope.
You hope that's all the features are just about the smokeless ashtray. So anyway, so you got that coming out.
What else? There's more.
But wait.
There's a lot.
There's another Warner Brothers 4K. They're bringing out The Shining on 4K, and that's obviously because Dr. Sleep is going to hit in November, and so we'll be talking heavily about this film because I don't know if have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it, and I don't really.
All right, well, we'll be doing it.
It looks scary.
I rewatched it today, and it looks beautiful. But I'll be rewatching this and Dr. Sleep.
Red Rum. I don't want to see this movie.
You know the kid does this with his finger?
Yeah.
He talks with it. Hi, what are you doing? I want to kill you. Anyway, Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel that's coming out in November. So once that movie comes out, we'll do a dive into both of them and discuss with her. I watched this today super loud because she wasn't home in 4K. It was glorious.
I'm glad.
And then we have more Warner Brothers, but not 4K this time. They may have 4K. They're putting out the Doom Patrol Season 1. Excuse me, on Blu-ray. That was highly inappropriate, but Doom Patrol, it seemed appropriate. If you haven't seen Doom Patrol, it's one of the live-action series on Disney Plus. Not Disney Plus. DC Universe Live, whatever the hell it's called. And I think it was like episode 4 or 5 of the first season of Titans. They introduced the Doom Patrol, and then they brought him out. This is the show that has Brendan Fraser in it. Mm-hmm. That's Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Robot Guy.
Nice.
That is, what is that guy's name? Hold on, Matt Bomer.
Mm-hmm.
He's that guy.
Oh, I like him.
That's what's his name? James Bond. Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
Yes. And then Alan Tudyk is in this.
Nice.
So it's got a good little cast. It's a strange ass show, but the Doom Patrol were always strange ass characters.
What do they do? Are they superheroes or villains, or are they just?
They're just a bunch of misfits.
Okay.
And they're dealing with.
Do they have powers?
Yeah, they all have powers of sorts. Like that's Cyborg.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Cyborg
I know who he is.
She has like multiple personalities. He's like the guy that's kind of behind everything. He's an actual robot cyborg type thing. He's got like some electrical thing living in him. She's like an actress, but turns into like putty,
nice,
rubbery, whatever. I never read the comic. It's Robot Man, Negative Man, Larry Trainer, Elasti-Woman, Rita Farr, and Crazy Jane.
Okay.
So
there you
go. They're taking on Mr. Nobody, played by Alan Tudyk. Anyway, I've never read the comic. I knew of them, but the show is actually really good. It's so freaking weird, but in the best way possible.
Yeah,
they're doing some bizarre stuff, but it's just crazy. Like there's a whole thing where I think it's a cow. It's been a while since I watched the first part of it. I think they were having like jump through a cow's butt to go through time.
Oh, cool.
I don't remember if it was a cow or what. Anyway, but it's weird shit like that. So that's coming out this week. And not last, also Paramount getting ready for their all new animated Addams Family feature has put out. I believe they're putting them out individually on 4K, but also a 2-pack of the Addams Family movies, Addams Family, and Addams Family Values.
Nice.
So this is the lovely 2-pack edition that has 2 films. That's why it's called the 2-pack. But I think they've also released them both separately in 4K editions. So these are available.
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to the animated one.
Yeah.
And the animated, if you don't know this, because I know somebody was complaining about the animated look and everything, the animated style, we'll talk more about it once we see it, it's based on the original comic strips.
Oh, cool.
So if you go look at the original comic strips, that's how
Where
they
they
look.
have like the balloony head.
That's how they look in the cartoon. It looks like they brought it to life off the comic page.
That's so cool.
So that's pretty cool. But also this week, one of the biggest movie of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yes, I'm aware of that.
People are talking about it.
Biggest thing coming out this week is Spider-Man Far From Home, which up until, I believe it was yesterday, we all thought was the final Spider-Man movie from the team up of Sony and Marvel Cinematic Universe. But they got their crap together, and they're making one more.
Worked it out.
They're making one more Spider-Man movie together, and they worked out a deal where Spider-Man can appear at least in one more Marvel film. And it sounds like there's some characters that can cross over to the Marvel Universe and vice versa. So we'll see what happens with that. And I think that's pretty much it of the big stuff.
Well, this is important because of the new one.
Oh, well,
I saw a good trailer for it today.
They've been releasing a bunch of the Disney and Marvel movies on 4K that hadn't got those trailers. So Frozen's hitting 4K, getting ready for Frozen 2.
I saw a good preview for Frozen 2 today. It's
Frozen 2 actually looks like it's going to be good. A little bit
more fleshed out of a story, not just singing on the mountain.
Well, nothing happens in the first Frozen
I know,
movie.
they just go singing through the...
So the new one looks like they actually leave and there's adventures and things happening. And so I never would have thought I would say these words, but I'm actually kind of looking forward to Frozen 2.
Yep.
I'm not looking forward to having to rewatch Frozen 1.
I know, you didn't care for it.
I didn't care for it at all. I think it's highly overrated. I think the music is crap.
I think they did a really good job singing.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful to look at.
And it's beautiful to look at.
And I like all of the
voice actors are fine. They're all good. But
I like all of the supposed hidden connections to all the other movies. Because it makes it more exciting. But yeah,
my problem with Frozen. We'll get into that later. No, I'll go off on this.
You will. So we're going to continue on now. Tell me about the contest.
Oh, we have numerous contests.
Contests.
One is a couple of them are fixing to end, so you better get up there fast. A couple of the older ones are first. Do it this other way. We still have a few more copies of Star Wars Resistance, the complete first season. I kept it open because they sent me a plethora, so I have a few more of these available. But once they're gone, they're gone. Except for if you go to the store and buy your own.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that. You want it for free, so enter the contest.
We also have one more copy of Kung Fu League. So this contest is fixing to end. I'll pick the winners because I'll probably pick 2 or 3 winners for this one. This is the fun one.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun little silly karate movie.
Okay.
We also have Toy Story 4 Digital Edition.
Nice.
This will end, I think, in a week or 2. Maybe next week.
You should watch it.
This is Monday.
I didn't particularly care for Forky, but...
Because you don't know nothing.
No, but the rest
Forky is hilarious.
I didn't like it.
Trash!
It was weird.
That was so genius.
Weird.
Trash!
Weird.
Trash!
Continue on.
I'm going to continue. Trash!
Next.
You're trash!
Go to the next movie.
There is no next movie. It all ends at Toy Story 4.
All right.
No. And lastly, for the time being, but we do have a couple other ones that are going to be popping up soon. We are giving away a copy of Pan Labyrinth on 4K.
All right.
So if you want a copy of Pan's Labyrinth on 4K, then you enter it. But don't be one of those people saying, but I don't have a 4K. I can't enter it. I will never be able to watch it. This one also has a Blu-ray and a digital code. So enter the contest and say maybe one day you'll get a 4K. Maybe owning Pan's Labyrinth on 4K will inspire you to eventually upgrade your system from that 32-bit system you have and jump up to today's technology. But if you don't,
you could share it with 2 other people. Give someone the 4K.
Yeah, but if you don't,
keep the Blu-ray.
You still watch the Blu-ray
and give someone the digital.
You still got
code.
the digital.
There you go. 3 ways to watch
Either ways.
You get 3 movies for free.
Yeah, for the price of none.
And then.
Why'd you just yell none?
I don't know.
It's like you were trying to say it before me. I was like, 2 movies price of none. And no, we don't give. No nuns were harmed in the making of this film.
I hope not.
And that's it for now.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize that we didn't get to Jim Cotta today.
Well, I got to tell you about the movies coming out at the theater this week.
I'm so stoked.
I know you're super excited. I'm not really very excited to see Joker, this time starring Joaquin Phoenix.
And Robert De Niro.
And I particularly do not care for
he's such
Joaquin
a brilliant
Phoenix because he seems very weird to me.
But he's a brilliant actor.
And this Joker seems very mentally and emotionally disturbed.
Here's
he needs help.
What's funny is like we're gonna see it on Tuesday, so I'm super stoked. But it's funny that how many people I've heard like kind of complaining about how mentally disturbed the Joker is. The most mentally unstable character.
Cray-cray.
They just always portrayed him as crazy in an entertaining way. This one looks like it's going to portray him the way he probably would really be in the real world.
Truth of it.
I've also heard rumors that there's some arguments about. There was a story that came out that were saying that the director Todd Phillips, who ironically is the same person who made like the Hangover movies, that's who made this movie. So it's not the kind of movie you expect from him. But they said that he got with Joaquin Phoenix about making this movie and said, you know, any studio about a comic book film, so let's just make this one, we'll call it the Joker, and then they'll let us make it.
True.
Because I've heard that this movie has nothing to do with really the Batman universe, Joker.
No, it's just about.
Although it has Thomas Wayne in it, and Arkham Asylum, and Wayne Industries, and.
Well, yeah, it's the backdrop of
what's
happening.
We'll see what happens. I'm stoked for it.
The other movie coming out nationwide is called The Climbers.
It's an Asian one.
Yes, it's based on the true story of the first Chinese climbing group to make it to the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah, I have a screening.
So it looks pretty interesting.
Lucy in the Sky is that new Natalie Portman movie.
But it's limited release, so we're not talking about that. The next one is there's a Netflix film coming out called In the Tall Grass. I think it's kind of like a scary movie because basically if you walk into the grass, you don't come out.
Yeah.
That's all we know. So, and everything else looks like, I do want to see Lucy in the Sky, but it's limited release, so it might be a big.
Oh, is Dolomite My Name hidden, or is it still, it's not hitting Netflix yet? All right, Dolomite Is My Name is one of those I'm highly looking forward to, but it's a Netflix movie, but I think it's getting, well, you know what they're doing now? They're releasing all the Netflix movies, limited release in theaters.
Oh, and then
so that way they can get Academy contention before it actually hits, because like The Irishman's getting that, Dolomite Is My Name. Which I'd go see Dolomite Is My Name. The
next one that's on Netflix is called Raising Dion. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
It's about, I think her son has special powers or something. Crazy. So that's going to be interesting to watch. So, yeah. I'm trying to see when does the other, like Lucy in the Sky, come out in wide release? Is it a week or two? Anyways. That's what's happening. So this one's going to be all excited about Joker, and I'm going to have to get all excited about the Chinese climbers on Mount Everest. I
have a screening, or get a screening for it if you want.
I don't know.
Chinese climbers.
Because I'm not super excited about Joker because it looks like it's going to be just
draining,
devastating for me because I don't deal well with those.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited for it.
Woo!
I'm
glad we're seeing it together.
Well, I also saw Jim Lee posted about seeing the Joker a second time.
Oh, he's seen it?
Yeah, he's seen it twice.
Woo.
Well, he's one of the main people at DC Comics, so he sees and knows about everything. But he posted seeing it second time, picked out all kinds of new nuances, and so who knows? I'm excited. I can't wait.
I know. I'm glad for you.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be rough. I
hope it's as good as everybody's saying it, and I don't come out of it.
Yeah, I think. Well, I have no expectations other than it's going to bother me emotionally. So.
I don't sort of think how anything, if you've lived with me for a while, how anything else could bother you emotionally.
Babe, he's insane and probably like psycho. And it looks like he like hurts himself. Mm-hmm. And the only person he cares about obviously is his mama. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens anytime something happens to someone's mama, then they snap and they break and they go crazy. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. That's it for today. What else did you have? Anything?
I think that's it, I guess.
All right. Well, good. We're going to go eat food now. I'm hungry. I want to go to the meat place and stuff my face with all you can eat meat.
You don't have any money for that.
Since
it'll happen before we have our next show, one of the big things that's going to be going on this week that we might post some live coverage of is Triple Force Friday. So that'd be midnight Thursday night. That's when all the new Star Wars merchandise, toys, and whatnot goes on sale. Mm-hmm. This year, they're calling it Triple Force Friday because it's hitting 3 properties. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, which is the new series that's hitting Disney Plus. It's already been picked up for a second season.
I want a T-shirt or something.
It's already been picked up second season. It hadn't even aired yet.
I love it.
And there's some really cool Mandalorian stuff. There's a cool Mandalorian shirt that has like all the different characters that I've seen.
Oh, I want the shirt.
She's got a pop. I was watching they did a live coverage thing of them showing what's going to come out. But they had all the celebrities there, so they were showing their stuff for the first time.
That's so cool to see themselves as a figure.
So it had Gina Carano and Pablo Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, there, and had them open up, and they're both like, and she had like a Funko Pop of her. And her character, which I didn't know until I started seeing the toys. I guess I didn't notice it in the trailer stuff. She has a tattoo under her eye, and I think it's the Rebel logo.
Oh, cool.
And so all the pops and figures have it. So she's like, oh my God, they got the tattoo. And then they had her own figure. Cool. And then he's over there with the Mandalorian and her, and he's fighting and playing.
That's so cool.
But it had a lot of the new actors, like Kerry Russell, who's in Rise of Skywalker. Got to see the figure of her character, cool. People seeing stuff. But anyway, so you have the Mandalorian, you have Rise of Skywalker, which the obvious ones. But then the other one is for the new video game Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
which
that's a big deal for video games.
Cameron Monaghan, I believe is his name. He's the kid. He's from Shameless, but he's the kid that played Joker on Gotham.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you were.
I'm there now.
Okay.
Yes.
He is the main Jedi character in the game.
I'm gonna go look.
And so it has his likeness and the redhead kid.
Yes.
And so he had his own figure.
He was creepy in the show.
In Gotham, not in Jedi Fallen Order.
Not in Jedi.
But
what is it called? Jedi Fallen Order.
They put out a cool. You should watch this when we're finished. They put out like a cool movie trailer type thing of him.
Yeah, I love those.
But that's him.
Yeah.
But if you scroll down, you can see it looks like him. If you scroll down to the voice work or whatever, you can see his face.
Where is he?
It's the top one. Yeah,
that one.
It's him. So you can see the image there, and you see what he looks like. So anyway,
I like them when they do it because they do the screen captures, don't they?
Sometimes it depends, but yeah, but that's him. But anyway, so they're doing all the stuff for all three properties on the same day.
Ooh.
So most stores kick off at midnight. I know if you go to StarWars.com, they're starting to release some of the different stuff. I know Disney has like if you spend $20 or more, but I think it's only like the first 50 customers.
Are we gonna go to a Disney store?
I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna figure out yet.
We go to Target and Walmart and Toys R. Well, there's no Toys R Us. So now we have to go to Disney. So. We have to.
Disney has. They're giving away 3 lithographs, and it's from the Mandalorian, the Fallen and Rise of Skywalker. So with the purchase, it's only the first 50 people, and then. But then I don't know because the last couple of years, some of the stores weren't doing nothing. Like we went to Target, no one was there.
No, but and that was sad because all the people that worked there were dressed up. Like one girl was dressed up like Ray with some T-shirts.
Yeah, they were ready.
And there was like nobody there. Yeah. We bought some stuff.
So and then usually we go to Kohl's because the new shirts.
Yes, Kohl's always has good T-shirts.
Except for when Rogue One came out and they screwed me over.
Yeah, they didn't have anything good.
Was that the AC or Thunder?
That was the AC.
Okay, sorry.
Were you thunderstruck?
I thought I heard the Lord.
Bobby.
Anyway, so that's what's happening. So we'll probably post some late night coverage because we always head out at midnight to go see. Normally we're sitting out in front of Toys R Us with a bunch of people.
Yeah, with our normal crew. We'll have to see where they're at. So, there's like a group of people that always go.
Yeah, and they're not people we're friends with. We're people we just see at these events.
Yeah, we're friends with them once a year.
Because I usually show up.
3 years.
I usually show up wearing like a 501st shirt, so then that sparks conversation. And it's always funny because if you
I say we go to Disney store first, and then go to Target, and then Walmart.
I already know 2 things I need at Disney.
Okay,
that's all I know. Go. They have these sets that I get.
Yeah,
the PVC sets. They're releasing 2 for Rise of Skywalker. They're releasing the main one, and they're releasing what's called the Sith set. The Sith set has the Sith troopers. Sith set.
Your Sith.
Someone just burned down my Sith set. But I think
it
has like Kylo Ren. It has the Sith troopers, the Jump Troopers, the Knights of Ren. All these things that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I know what they are.
Do you know what the Knights of Ren are?
Yes, that was his little group when he fought back. And
we've never got to see.
He destroyed the Jedi camp.
We've only got to see him in one scene in the rain.
Yes.
They're supposedly all in this movie.
Nice.
They're basically like his.
See, I knew.
She knew. What's a Sith trooper?
Sith trooper.
Suddenly, she's not so smart now, is she?
What are those? The red ones?
Those are the new red ones. What? Jump troopers?
I'm assuming they have They jump out of airplanes and they have backpacks.
They do have backpacks. We've only seen them once so far, and it was in the first trailer. There's like this explosion of smoke, and you see these 2 things zoom out of them. Mm-hmm. Those are jump troopers, or whatever. So, and there's supposedly some other things. So we'll see, and a whole bunch of new aliens and whatnot. So we'll see what gets released.
Should be exciting.
But we'll be there having a good old time spending money.
Come out with us.
Spending money we don't have.
Yes, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
And then that means we've only got like 3 months until the Rise of Skywalker hits.
Christmas.
That means when Rise of Skywalker release, we'll be doing our show remotely from the Bobby office in the Star Wars room.
Is that what we're gonna watch Christmas Day? Even though we probably already
it'll be out, I think, before Christmas Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
What
probably.
are we watching Christmas Day?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that comes out on Christmas.
I hope there's something exciting.
We always watch stuff on Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we'll find something. Don't sure about it. I'm only gonna have to watch Star Wars like 7 or 8 times anyway.
I know. I normally only stop at like 3 or 4. I have to see it at least 3.
We always see it at the Alamo Draft House.
Yes.
And the main theater.
Yes.
So I'll see it, and then the last few times I also had press screenings. So by the time we saw it opening weekend, I'd already seen it 3 times. And then usually AMC has those Sunday posters.
Yeah,
so I go see it anywhere from 2 to 4 times to make sure I get all the different posters. So I think like Last Jedi I saw 7 times at the theater.
Yeah. Solo
I saw 5 times, but they only had 1 poster. I just kept going to see it.
Oh, this is the one that's coming out. Yeah. I don't want to see that.
So anyway, sorry, we filled up time with Star Wars jibber jabber.
We love y'all. Thank you for watching.
So anyway, yeah. So you want to give your plugs?
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Always go up to the top where it says contest so you can win free stuff. Thank you for watching us on YouTube at Hollywood Matrimony, on Facebook at Hollywood Matrimony. We are on Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony, and we're on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, MATR.
And don't forget, come back here starting on Monday. We'll be back for a new episode of Martial Arts Movie Mondays, where I take a deep dive into one of these random films up behind me to talk to you all about how it affected my life as a martial artist and the movie itself and its fun and gloriousness or badness, depending on what movie I talk about. And then Tuesdays, we're back together, me and the missus, for TV Tuesdays. That is now considered the late night edition.
It's going to be very exciting.
Maybe even later this week because we're seeing Joker, so we don't know exactly what time we're going to do the show.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe. We'll just see what happens.
But I've watched like 5 new shows just for you guys.
Yeah, we got a lot this week to talk about. Should we maybe talking about the shows like this? Because they may be stressed from Joker and all like that.
I might be falling asleep.
Thankfully, a lot of the ones we got to talk about are new comedies and things like that.
Yes, I got some fun
and then try to do a weekly update. I did not do a weekly update this week because I got really busy and I have art deadlines and I wasn't feeling well.
We've been sick.
We're dealing with a sick cat and there's all kinds of things happening. But I did do What's on My Desk and Mine this week, which I thought came out fairly well. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. We were talking about quality of life this week on my episode. Basically spun up the cat story into things in quality of life. Your quality of life is very important, but it's not about just how happy you are. It's all about what's up in here, what's in here, and what's around you.
And what's in your belly.
And what's in your belly, yes. But then also we'll be back again on Sunday for another episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live right here on this YouTube channel and right over there at the Facebook Live Hollywood Matrimony page channel thing.
Yes.
So make sure you hit the subscribe button right here or up here on the orb up in the corner and check out whatever video plays over here and have a wonderful day. And remember, be nice to each other and have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
You got to turn it off because I'm not wearing pants.
All right, I will. Oops, there's a dog in the way.